What's going on, Aces? Welcome back to the channel. It is the 10th season, 10-year anniversary for Married to Medicine. Congratulations to all of the ladies. They have brought back the staples, Dr. Jackie, Dr. Simone, Toya, Dr. Heavenly, and then we have some new cast members. They have brought Phadrea Parks, who is formerly known from her time on Real Housewives of Atlanta and Ultimate Girls Trip. So now she is on Married to Medicine. She is definitely making her way through the Bravoverse. And then they also brought back Quad Webb to be messy, right? Because Dr. G, Dr. Gregory, her ex-husband, has married a new woman, Tisha, or Sweet Tea, as she is affectionately called on the show. So we have a full cast, right? And it is messy, and I'm looking forward to this season. This episode begins with them introducing Phadrea Parks to everybody in her new store, her new boutique. And it's, a high-end store where she's actually selling furs. And my first thought was a few things, right? A lot of retail stores, brick and mortar stores, are going out of business because most people are doing their shopping online now. So I was a bit, not taken aback, but just kind of surprised, I guess, right? Because her store is selling fur in Atlanta, Georgia. It's hot in Atlanta. Like, okay, I mean, Phaedra has, many different businesses, many hats. She's an attorney. She got a degree in mortuary science, so she is a mortician, and now she is a owner of a boutique that sells fur coats. So, okay, great. Hats off to Phaedra. Um, and they're talking about, um, Sweet Tea, I guess, who is the main topic of conversation for the majority of the episode. We meet her, and she's very sweet. We meet her fraternal twin, Keisha, and the ladies get together, and she talks about how Dr. Gregory wants a family, and one of the ladies, they say, "Well, give it to him." And so she says, "Well, okay, yeah, we're trying. Dr. Simone recommended me to a specialist." And I'm only laughing because Heavenly, it has been the most consistent. She is seriously one of the messiest people on reality TV. Like I honestly, I can't take Dr. Heavenly seriously. She, has her own YouTube channel, which a lot of people, including, Contessa, has confronted her about. But if there's one thing that Dr. Heavenly is going to do, she's going to be messy, and she's going to be consistently messy. Okay. So she says, "Well, why didn't you, Simone, why didn't Simone, refer her to Dr. Jackie?" And Simone is trying to explain to her that, Dr. Jackie is a general OBGYN. I referred her to a specialist because Tisha was bringing up the fact that, she had, fibroids and things like that. And so Heavenly's like, "Well, why don't we keep the money in the friend group?" Oh my goodness. And I'm like, "Heavenly, you are a whole dentist out here. Like, you don't even, have anything to do with anything below the navel, right?" So Simone, she's like, "Well, Dr. Jackie can do that surgery, and Dr. Jackie this and Dr. Jackie that." And Simone's like, "Heavenly, you don't know what you're talking about because I referred her to a specialist." And, Simone, she was getting loud, and because the men were outside, and I think it was Cecil, one of the men said, "Tisha's really good for the group because I haven't heard the ladies." And then boom, like 5 minutes later, they're screaming at each other. So speaking of messy, we actually, saw Heavenly talk with her daughter Aurora, and we watched her grow up, over these past 10 years, and she's getting ready to go off to college, and she wants to go to her mother's, alma mater, FAMU. And Heavenly's like, no, you should stay here in the state because she wants her to stay close to home, which is sweet. But at the same time, I feel like, she should be fair. She wants to go to FAMU in Florida, and Florida's not that far from Georgia. And Heavenly knows, the campus, and I feel like that's very sweet, but she wants to keep her daughter at home, but that's not fair if she let her boys go out of state. So I feel like it should be fair across the board. In order to not perpetuate stereotypes and gender roles, but again, that's my opinion. I hope that Aurora gets to go to whatever school she wants to go to because it's her life and she's ready to move out of the nest. And they'll be empty nesters, her and Damon. So speaking of nest, right? They flash back to Sweet Tea, giving that tour of her home, which used to be Gregory and Quad's home, and I know that she remodeled, but I'm just thinking like, why would they have the exact same house? Like, why wouldn't he, you know, at least, I mean, do like a 6-month rental or somewhere until they saved up enough money from the show to, if not build another house, buy another home. But just to start fresh. That's my thinking. But she said that she did remodel it, so I guess that's her, new start. And um, they go to the courthouse to get their marriage license, and they seem really happy. Like Dr. G seems really happy, and I'm happy for him. Moving forward with a new wife, and I think it was Dr. Heavenly who asked Tisha. She says, "What do you like about being engaged?" And Tisha says, "I get access to the money." And so they give her the side eye. Dr. Heavenly, she's like, "Well, I'm not saying she's a gold digger." That's exactly what they said about Quad. Okay, they called her a gold digger, and it would give you pause, right? If someone asked you, what would be the best thing about being engaged to you, and you heard your significant other, soon to be spouse, say, I get access to their money. Like nothing about your personality, nothing about why they love you, nothing about your relationship. No, just money. Like what in the Mia Gordon, Mia Gordon is going on? Um, and looking at the house, I'm like, it doesn't look like he has that much money. I mean, anyway, if he's still working, then it's tied to his labor. It's not passive income. But moving forward, right? They end up bringing Quad. They end up showing next week. I think it's next episode, but they're gonna bring Quad into the bachelor party, and even before that, right? Because Tisha tells Dr. G that the ladies kept bringing up Quad, and Dr. G said the same thing about the men, and she's like, "Well, I have to just let them know that there's a new sheriff in town." But when they do finally introduce Quad next week, her sister and her, like, at the bachelor party, they're like screaming and yelling, and Quad has this quiet look of satisfaction on her face. And I'm telling you that you can see the progression when people are initially introduced on a reality show. It takes them maybe, 2 or 3 seasons to fall back, right? To have watched themselves kind of, lose control or get angry on television, on national television, and they don't do it anymore. Okay. Like they had to bring in this new, Tisha, Sweet Tea, her sister Keisha, Quad, to shake things up. Otherwise, it would just be a pretty boring season, with the exception of Dr. Heavenly being messy as always. But I mean, you can tell that Tisha and Keisha are new to reality television. Every time they bring in a new person, that person flies off the handle for maybe 1 or 2 seasons, and then they kind of, back down and withdraw because Nobody wants to see that, right? Played back and see themselves going off. But anyway, I do feel like this season will be interesting. I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And I will see you in the next video. Take care, Aces. Bye.